Yo, what is up, Destiny people on the interwebs? My name's Vito, and today I wanted to talk about coming back to a game you love after a little bit of a break or a long-term hiatus. This mainly pertains to Destiny and games like Destiny, seeing as I'm mainly a first-person shooter channel, but you can apply this to any game you're playing right now, like Overwatch, StarCraft 2, or even World of Warcraft. So to kind of put this video into context, around August last year, I started college or university again, and I've been committing full-time to my studies. Unfortunately, after a financial loan error, I had to pay more out of pocket than I expected as well, hence why I had to pick up a second job. So to say the least, working 7 days a week, Destiny or really any other type of gaming or content creation was pretty much out of the picture. Then since then, Rise of Iron came out in Destiny. I wasn't even max light level in the Taken King, so now you're telling me that I have to climb out even further to be in the current meta? That's just crazy. Now, usually whenever an expansion for a game comes out and you are on top of it, it can be super hard to get back into the swing of things. This applies to game balancing as well. The best example I can give you is for World of Warcraft. If you stop playing after Mists of Pandaria and completely skipped Warlords or Draenor like I did, then you buy Legion, naturally you're going to have to work a little bit harder to get to the max level or max rank and do the endgame content than the player who actually stayed with it the entire time. Anyway, let's get into it. The first step, getting back into a game after a long-term break. The first thing I would do is research. If you're like me and mainly play Destiny for the PvP content, you're going to want to know what guns are being used, what roles they have, and what is mainly predominant in the meta right now. Research can be something as simple as typing in a game you're looking for into YouTube and watching a few videos and seeing what guns the bigger YouTubers are using. This will mainly be the meta-based weapons. If you're a Destiny player like me, which I would assume you are since you're watching a Destiny gameplay video, I would definitely recommend channels like mTashed, True Vanguard, and a friend of mine, bbkDragoon. Typically they go over the meta weapons at some point in a video, or in many videos for that matter. Now the next step might sound a little cliche, but it's probably the most important, and that step is practice. In first-person shooters, the best way to practice is, unfortunately, just by playing the game. That means just grinding out game after game after game. Now, naturally, your fingers are going to be cold and stiff because they haven't been using the motions needed for a controller, or a keyboard or mouse, or any type of equipment you use for video games. So definitely don't be upset when you do worse than you know you can actually be, because the more games you play, the more warmed up you'll be. If you're applying this to another game like World of Warcraft or StarCraft 2 or League of Legends, I would definitely recommend moving the mouse across your mouse pad a couple times. Click the WASD keys a few times. That is very hard to say. Try saying that 5 times fast. Anything to kind of get your fingers and hands moving again. Next, I want to talk a little bit about attitude. Yeah, I know it's another cliche thing, but attitude is huge when it comes to returning to a game after a little break or a long hiatus, because, for example, going into a PvP match or a raid with the wrong mindset can be detrimental to you, your teammates, and your squad mates. If you go in thinking that I can never get into endgame content, or I can never get these weapons for Crucible or PvP or anything because you're so far behind, then you will actually make it so that it never happens. In almost every tip video that I do, I usually mention maintaining a positive attitude at some point because it will make you a better player and it will definitely allow you to make clear decisions and clear your head in situations that involve, say, a gunfight. Now, kind of on the more gameplay aspect of things is to slow down. This can mean slowing down your shots for better accuracy. This can be slowing down your macro movements so that you don't miss an inject or like a mule drop in StarCraft 2. Literally anything that will slow down your play. If you're gonna go into a fight guns blazing and not even check your radar, you'll most likely die because you were so focused on getting back into how good you used to be and didn't even see that there were 3 enemies on each side of you. Things like not running around corners, staying in one spot when you're reloading, crouch walking in high density areas. These tips we completely overlook because they've been second nature for so long. But sometimes after returning to a first person shooter or a MOBA, thinking out or even speaking out your actions before doing them can give you another option of attack. The last tip I want to give you guys is to have a friend or a group of players with you. And there's nothing better than having a group of buddies who understand the situation that you're in and who are willing to help you out in either PvP or raid or laning or learning how to play a different race in like StarCraft, you'll instinctively feel a lot better and a lot more comfortable because you've got players who are just as good as you are, and it will increase your morale tenfold. Well, those are the top 5 reasons that I can think of when returning to a game after a short break or a long hiatus. If you have any other tips you'd like to share, please leave them in the comments section down below, as it may help a potential returning player. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, and I'll be back again soon for another Destiny video.